We spend much time on media, whether they are on social media, television, or other sources. While we are consuming media contents, we might have been accepting some stereotypes that can influence our perception of anything. Today, we want to focus on obesity, which more than a third of Americans are suffering from physically and socially. Do you think media contributes to increasing obesity?
Obviously, we always see fast food on TV, and there's always something new going on. Like right now, currently, people are always going to Wendy's to get the 4 for $4, and people go to McDonald's because they advertise all day, and you can sit there and count how many times you'll see a McDonald's advertisement while just watching TV. Within like an hour, you see a whole bunch of food ads.
And I feel like a lot of unhealthy food advertisements trick people into thinking that it's good for them, in which in actuality they're not.
When it comes to obesity, I think when you have commercials and things like that where food, and especially large amounts of food, are displayed, I think, it definitely influences people.
How does media describe obese people?
They describe it as like skinny is good and fat is bad. I mean, there's a lot of shows where it's just like, being obese, people are trying to fight against it, lose weight, like Weight Watchers and all that stuff. But basically the medium portrays that being skinny is the only way you look good, you know what I mean? All the models are skinny, in shape, all the famous actors, most of them are skinny, and the fat ones, there's very few.
Well, honestly, in the media, everybody has to have the perfect body. People will critique a celebrity over any bit of fat that they have showing or anything. And on magazines such as like OK, you see them talking about body and body fat and stuff like that, criticizing them and making them feel bad about their bodies. The media definitely makes people feel a certain way about their body image.
Do you agree with the media's description of obese people?
I think a lot of stereotypes probably have what social psychologists call the kernel of truth. And that means that on a very small level, very, very, very small, there's a little bit of truth. But that truth then gets exaggerated and generalized to the whole group.
You see the skinny, especially for girls, if you see the skinny, thin models and women and girls, little girls especially, that aspire to that, that's a very distorted image. And for various reasons, some is a predisposition. We all aren't born with, athletic genes. I mean, some of us are very lucky. So they have a strike against them right away if they have a predisposition to some, hereditary thing or just some sort of, that they could get heavy.
Usually, unfortunately, obesity and being sedentary and out of shape usually go together. But someone who is fit and exercising isn't necessarily thin either. So more important than a number about what people weigh is that they are getting a lot of exercise.
It's based upon self-efficacy of the person who may or may not be heavy. If they are heavy, if they're overweight, they still may have done a lot of great things in their past, and they still may believe that they have the skill sets to perform any task. So, they have the self-efficacy to know that they can perform the task, and so they do it. For a person who maybe has been shamed because of their weight, they've been bullied, they may have low self-esteem and not have the same efficacy of a person who's heavy but has succeeded. So that plays a major part.
People's thought and experience with obese people vary. Whereas media sends one prevalent negative image of obese people, it seems that media should make a realistic balance in portraying obese people.